I guess we're doing this, aren't we? You know how Redditors have that one Twitter account that's like, can you pet the doggo in the video game? Someone should really get a Twitter account for, like, if you can look up the skirt of the girl
I
in
guess
the
we're
video
doing this,
game.
aren't we?
Oh, I had that. All right, I just heard myself double. Um, okay. I'm probably gonna have to explain this like 3 times or more throughout the recording of this. Like this is like a live session, dude. Uh, so what I'm doing is I'm gonna be making a PowerPoint or something, uh, just to have like a little basic backdrop for a lecture that I'm planning on doing in a couple days. I'm probably gonna record the lecture on Sunday, because I'm basically done with my notes. I just want to finalize everything into like into a place that I'm happy with, having gathered the information. Then I'm gonna go about doing a PCP style lecture. So let me first pick a theme. I wonder. There we go. And I'll probably explain more about that once I get deeper into the stream. Um, there really aren't too many themes on here. I'm gonna do this one. One that doesn't look too corporate, you know. When I'm using LibreOffice, actually I don't like that theme. I don't like that theme at all. Crap. Let me just make a new one. I bet there's an easier way to sort that. I wish it was just like a plain white theme that I can pick. Vivid piano, midnight. That looks a little corporate. I don't like that at all. Slide. That's not gonna work. I don't want to just like keep deleting them and remaking them. You know, I'm just gonna use plain white for now, and then after the fact, I will sort that out. And there's gonna be people flying down the street all night, aren't they? Hey, lurker. Um, let's see. Layout. This is my first time using LibreOffice as well, so I need to maneuver my own way around here. I considered doing this on like a Google Slides or something, but decided against it. Because I'd already started working a lot of this on LibreOffice, and I'm gonna start to regret this, aren't I? Let's do center text. I just started the stream, like literally. How long ago did I start? 3 minutes ago. It's gonna be like a random little stream, because I have some stuff to work on. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm gonna be doing a PCP style lecture about Idolmaster, um, and I plan to record it, like the actual lecture itself, on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. But after like I edit it and like I process everything and I get around to uploading, it's gonna be a little bit later. But I'm in the process of making some sort of like visual background guide or something for the lecture, because I figured like in all the lectures that the PCP guys did, it was they had like a whiteboard and they drew stuff on there, and I briefly considered doing that, but I thought like buying a whiteboard would be kind of wasted on this if I would only literally use it once, and I just figured maybe having some actual pictures on here would be a little bit better, and then plus I don't feel like drawing on a whiteboard. Yeah, it is. I don't typically stream, but like I got out of work today, and I was like I kind of need to continue working on this so I could finish it on time. So I just figured I'd stream uh, in the background or something. Let me break this window out. Because I kept looking over. Close that. Yeah. Windows 10 supremacy. Uh, the voice packs are honestly like the best thing about Windows. So, let's see how I'm gonna do this. Maybe I could split the windows here. Okay. I think that will suffice. So, Idolmaster 101. Let's make a new slide. Control M is going to be that. Format, slide. I'm just going to do title content. Keep it basic. Since during the lecture I'm going to have my own speaker notes. Like, these speaker notes are also not done at all. Like, it originally started as me just writing a research paper about this franchise. And then I've gone back and started to make bullet points that would probably be easier to run down as I give the lecture. But, like, most of this is not done at all. And I ended up writing way too much. And so I'm going to be putting out, like, the full version as if I had written it like a blog later once I finalize that and, go back and read through it. But for now, I'm just going to give like a brief overview for the slideshow aspect of this. Let's do this live chat. So I'm going to do probably like each top level title I'm going to give a slide. And I do realize when I was making this whatchamacallit? When I was making the stream and I was like, I'm going to stream myself making this slideshow for the lecture that I'm inevitably going to give, I realized that it would spoil two things. It would spoil a lot of the content for the lecture, and it would also spoil the fact that I'm going to be giving a lecture. Because a while back, I think it was either this summer or last summer, I don't remember which, but I went on a rant talking about how I didn't have any topics to talk about for a lecture. But after thinking about it, I knew I had to do one, and I thought about a number of franchises, but it wasn't until like maybe a week or two ago, well, maybe a little bit before that, but within the last month, it occurred to me that of all franchises, I probably could do a decent lecture about the Idolmaster. And while I'm no expert, I'm not an expert on anything, to be honest. Like, I don't delve into franchises like a lot of people do. Like, I don't have a particular gaming franchise that I'm into, and I'm not like a huge gamer. Very rarely with anime I'll delve far into a franchise, and even if I do, it's more so like a series. For example, like Oregairu or something. And there's not really much you can give a lecture about within that particular topic, because Oregairu is fairly straightforward. As well as like a number of other series. Like, even if you wanted to give something general, it would have to be like a sprawling media franchise. And the sprawling media franchise that I'm most familiar with is probably Idolmaster. And even then, there's a lot of the franchise that I'm not super familiar with. Just because like there's so much of it, and there's obviously people who have been into it longer than I have. And I mean, Idolmaster's been going on since even before 2005 technically, so I just realized it's kind of it's kind of complicated to talk and write at the same time. So I'm just giving these titles for now, and I'm going to find pictures in a little bit. do I want to do this? I'll figure that out in a little bit. And did this just lock up on me? It just... We're off to an excellent start. Wow, okay. If this is how we're gonna be, I'm not... Don't tell me I just lost all my work, did I? Yeah, because I didn't save it at all. Okay. I'm gonna have to start over. We're not off to a good start, are we? So this is LibreOffice for you. Crap. So let me first, I'm gonna try to take this over to the screen right here and save it. Save as. Okay. We've already lost everything and the stream is barely started. So we're off to an excellent start. Let's see. I hate how it always, like, throughout the entire research for this, whatchamacallit, this whole lecture thing, like, it's just been a battle against LibreOffice to stop it from making this Idolmaster into a hyperlink, because it keeps thinking this is an email address, and it's kind of annoying that every time I type it, I have to remove that, because then it will, it'll underline that and everything, and it looks weird. So where was I? That's not it. Centered text. There we go. Centered text. Okay. Now we're back. I'm just gonna remake this. Shouldn't be too bad. At least I didn't start to add a whole lot. And like I was mentioning before, most of what I'm going to be doing in the lecture is just going to be reading off the speaker notes and kind of expanding upon what I had researched and stuff. So probably this presentation is mostly going to be pictures, just to have some sort of visual guide in the background. I'm probably going to put it like on a TV or something and connect it to my ThinkPad, and just kind of like scroll through just to have something to look at in the background. Otherwise, it'd be kind of boring to just have me standing in a room rambling about Idolmaster for however long this takes. And that's the number one worry, I suppose, I have about this lecture, is that it's going to take too long, or it's going to take longer than I expect it to. Because I know lectures are long. The problem and the question is, how long is it actually going to be? Because on the one hand, maybe it will be like 2 hours, but on the other hand, knowing that I like to ramble, for all I know, this can be like... Let's see, how do I... Change back to live chat. For all I know, this could be a 6-hour lecture I'm about to give, and I'm none the wiser. I'm trying to figure out how I want to capitalize some of these things too, just to make it look aesthetically appealing. I also realized too, hey, semi-dead account. I also realized too during a lot of the research of this video, or not really video, but like the lecture, there's not too much like informational content out there on the internet, specifically in video form about Idolmaster. There's a couple of pretty good videos. I forgot who made it. Uh, it was like the channel like 765 Pro or something. That's just what it was called, and they made two videos attempting to talk about like the entirety of the games within the franchise, but they stopped after the original Xbox 360 port, which was only the second mainline game in the series, so they had a lot of ground to cover, and that project kind of seems dead, which is unfortunate. And I sort of wish there was more, but at the same time, it's kind of a niche thing in and of itself, I guess. The games are all in Japanese anyways. So it's First Vision. So probably on this one, it's just gonna be First Vision content, and this one's just gonna be second. God damn it! I don't want to have the super text. Hello. Second Vision. I've typed so many words with caps lock on during the writing of this. It's kind of insane. Go on. I need to change the font size. Where the heck are the font tools? Like, dude. Where are the toolbars? I need to have is it font work, I guess? That's really weird. It's just, okay. This is my first time using, crap. LibreOffice in its suite of items. It's basically a replacement for like Office 365 stuff from Microsoft. It's cool because you can technically access a lot of Office 365 documents. Like you can open Microsoft Word documents natively in the software, which is pretty cool. Because in uni, most of the work I did was within the Microsoft environment, since our school paid for licenses for that. So it's cool that there's an open source software version, kind of doing the same. Thanks. I found this Itasha thumbnail because I knew I had this picture saved before, and I was looking for it on my computer, and I couldn't find it. But I ended up having to go look for it. Here, I'm gonna find a link, just in case someone will end up inevitably asking later down the line. But it was from a Japanese blog covering something like Itasha Vision or something in Japan, whatever. Those Itasha. It's kind of a dumb question to ask. I wonder if there's X character on an Itasha. More so, like, I wonder who has it. But sometimes, like, there'll be a niche series that you look for, and there's not too many good examples of an Itasha. So I was like, Takagaki Kaede Itasha. And I managed to find one by searching in Japanese. Same thing the other day. I was looking and I was like, I wonder if there's an Amagami Itasha, and it turns out there's a couple. There's like at least two that I'm aware of in Japan, which is cool. But at the same time, like I kind of wanted to be the first because I will eventually get an Itasha, and I thought it'd be cool to be the first guy with an Amagami one. But of course, someone else has that. 3.0 vision. Love the vids bars. Thanks. I had a couple of other videos like queued up, but I forget why I haven't uploaded them yet, though I'm sure many people will be pleased to hear that I have reached a point where I'm almost ready to release my room tour video. I recorded a new room tour video in my current room right now, towards the tail end of August or something like that. Tail end of August, early September. And I've just been kind of sitting on the footage for a long time. I dropped it all into a Premiere timeline, and I saw that it was almost 6 hours long. So I was like, oh shit. So like I've kind of been combing through it in the past like month or so, like procrastinating it, knowing that I really don't want to rewatch 6 hours of footage, but at the same time, like I kind of need to do my due diligence. And I edited a little bit of it, but it's basically done. So I'm gonna be releasing that room tour video, hopefully by the end of the month. If I get, I just need to motivate myself to finish watching it, or just to sit down and you know re-verify that it's decent. What videos did you have queued up? I had recorded a couple. Let me check my hard drive. I think there was at least three that I recorded and a couple that were done. But I think most of those have already come out now on the After Dark channel. I have a random rant that I haven't recorded, and I think I have a couple other. Yeah, a couple other random like rants or whatever, but it's mostly side content. For the main channel, like I mentioned before, the room tour video is going to be released soon, which is going to be pretty epic, I think, because it's basically probably going to be as long as the Digi's Crib video from back in the day, except it's just all going to be in one part. I have it all time stamped and everything. And then obviously this one right here, when it is eventually recorded, the Idolmaster 101 PCP style lecture. Probably a few others, and I'm forgetting. And I did want to record a new main channel video, but I with a vague idea of what the topic was, but it'd probably just be a script from my blog, reworked into something video worthy, I suppose. Would you get any Tasha wrap for your car? Are you interested in that kind of thing? 100%. I would get any Tasha wrap. It's not a question of would I, it's a matter of when would I. I think my biggest deterrent right now is car prices. Because I live in the United States. I'm sure other people who live in the US kind of know right now, probably outside as well. Car prices are not really too reasonable right now. And despite me earning enough money for my job that I can pretty much go out and buy whatever I wanted, it's not really a smart purchase to go buy a sports car right now. Because not only would I have to pay dealer markup, I would also have to deal with insurance costs. For being someone under 25 buying a sports car, uh, it doesn't really seem like the smartest decision. Especially like if I'm gonna pay the insurance, I'm not gonna buy a brand new car, so I would have to buy something used, and the used market's not that good, anyways. But yes, I would wrap it. Uh, the number one wrap I would want to do is, at least right now, since I've been really into this character, I would get the Takagaki Kaede from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, similar to the wrap in the thumbnail I showed. Probably a similar color palette, like a navy. And then I would make the license plates Koi Kaze. For those who know. But I don't have vanity license plates right now, so I'd have to get that. I also think like a Rose and Maiden wrap would be pretty sick, because no one has a Rose and Maiden wrap. Well, at least not in my area. There's a few Itasha around. Like the other day, I was driving home from work and I saw an Itasha. I think it was an original character, and it was unfortunately on a Dodge Challenger or something. So it's kind of like whatever. I always feel like Itasha on like an American car kind of feels wrong. But to each their own. I still think it's really based. Like if I saw the dude, I would say nice car. Anyways, where was I? Generations. I'm gonna talk about First Vision, and I also need to find pictures for all this stuff. Uh-oh. Wrong hotkey. I think Million Life has 1 exclamation mark. All the formatting of these shows is kind of crazy. Like they all have like weird little like for example Side M has a capital M. So it's like this weird like disturbance when you're writing it. It kind of comes out of nowhere that you have to randomly type a capital M without giving a space or something. It kind of throws me off. First Vision Games. I probably will give... This should be a title slide, and then I want to give the arcade... Especially with these video games stuff, talking about the video games in the franchise, I think this is where pictures will come in handy if I'm talking about it. And I also realized too that, especially during going over a lot of the information for this video, like I'm not super familiar with the Idolmaster games because that's not really like my primary interest within the franchise. But like explaining gameplay for a game that, for one, doesn't really have too much English coverage, and two, I have never played, is kind of weird. Oh, Rose and Maiden rap. Yeah, I would probably do Suiginto. I'm gonna talk about happening location. I'm gonna refrain from mentioning too much about this the content for this lecture, because I was like, I could totally talk about happening location right now. But there are some really fascinating games within the franchise, especially like a lot of like weird one-off Japanese exclusive. Does this one have an exclamation mark? A lot of weird games, a lot of cool games as well. Idolmaster SP. But there's like so many video games within this franchise. It's not even funny. I think it starts to get out of hand in Second Vision. Like you can easily play all the First Vision games. Well, besides the ones that obviously you can't play anymore, like the mobile phone games that had the ended service, but like the mainline games. And I was wondering too I wonder if they do have the arcade games still active in Japan. Because I know sometimes, especially with old arcade games... What just happened? Did it just crash again? Oh, geez. This is going to be a... Okay. This is going to be a long day, isn't it? Alright. I have no idea why they keep crashing right now. It's literally just a PowerPoint presentation. LibreOffice Impress, you're one more crash away from making me want to go over to Google Slides. Like I'm trying to get away from all that. But you're pushing my hand back to the world of Google right now. Did I spell that right? Million Live. And inside M was, oh, shiny colors. And the funny thing too about doing this Idolmaster lecture is like I will see some franchises or branches within the brand that I'm like not familiar at all with, like Side M in particular. But then other ones like Shiny Colors, Like I only know shiny colors because of the Dojinshi and the Danboru art. Video game overview. I'm gonna be saving constantly now. First, what is going on? First Vision games. It's another title slide. This one's gonna be arcade. Xbox Live. Happening location. Save that. I also think the Idolmaster SP is the one I have on my computer right now. Because I know some of these games have... There's only like 2 games in this franchise that have full English patches, and I think SP is one of them. Actually, I lied. There's multiple. The SP games, there's like a series of 3 games within SP that have English patches, as well as I think Shiny Festa has English patches, and then One for All on the PS3 has an English patch that I believe is somewhat incomplete, but is a fairly monumental translation achievement. And I didn't know about it until actually starting to research this, but it's really impressive. And last time I forgot to talk about the mobile games. See, even in the beginning there was Idolmaster mobile games. Idolmaster Mobile and Mobile Eye. We'll talk about Second Vision games. Daily Stars. I do really like the naming scheme and the naming convention the franchise uses. Sometimes they're kind of stupid. Like really long names, but like they give them like cute names. Like I really like the name Dearly Stars, and I'm probably gonna mention it in my lecture. But Dearly Stars came out on the Nintendo DS, and it kind of reminded me of Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, where the whole joke for Dream Drop Distance was that there was 3Ds in the title and it was a game for the 3DS. Whereas like Dearly Stars, if you abbreviate it, it's DS, and since it came out in the Nintendo DS, it's kind of like a cheeky little title. It seems like during that era, these Japanese devs really like to not poke fun at, but like to make these funny little references or puns or whatever. I think I just messed up. There we go. Gravure for you. The biggest tragedy for the franchise, though, is that they never continued the Gravure for you games, because they only did it for a while. They did a series of, I think it was 9 games for the original Namco Pro Girls, and then they did it for like some of the first wave most popular Cinderella girls. I kind of wish they did it for like Shiny Colors and stuff. Or it would have been interesting too to see how they would have approached like a side M version of Gravure for you. And they really lost a lot of potential with that idea, because Gravure for you, they're all essentially the same game. From what I understand, it's really similar to like in Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. I think that's what it is. Or the Dead or Alive Extreme games, where you just like take pictures of girls. Let me talk additional releases. I'm just gonna make that a top level one. But it's just like taking pictures of girls, and it just seemed like such an easy topic, or such an easy idea to capitalize on. and they clearly did, where they made 9 versions of pretty much the same game, one girl per game. But I guess they didn't want to continue. It would have been nice to at least have a phone game version for that. I know for a fact. Let's see, what was it called? They have a Cinderella Girls game that's kind of similar to that on mobile devices now. I don't remember what it's called. But it's like that one AR game where you can import characters from your Idolmaster Cinderella Girls Starlight Stage account into that the AR app, and you can like kind of put them in your room, and you can like take pictures of them, which I thought was really cool. Hey Uzi, Safe XP. I do. They're actually pretty cheap, depending on which game you get, and especially now they're kind of like a niche thing. I have this special edition version uh, of the Yayoi version for Gravier for You, because I found that at a con a couple years ago. But even if you import them from like eBay or something, I think it's like $15. They've gone down in price, and I think they're fairly simple. Especially like it does. I don't think it really matters if you know much Japanese. You can kind of mess around with them and hang out with some cute girls. Crap! What happened to my thumbnail? Well, not thumbnail. What happened to my text box? The cursor just stopped loading. I'm fighting this software right now. I don't know if I want to make Starlight Stage its own whatchamacallit, its own slide or whatever, but I guess that's fine. 3.0. And the future. Lamenting the loss of beautiful boys. The greatest tragedy is the loss of Idolmaster Side M, completely unironically. Is this like for an actual con? Kind of, but not really. This is sort of like a parody of Radcon. And I had initially intended to make more videos, but I didn't really have too many good ideas. Nor did I have like a conducive enough environment to get into like a Radcon video making spree. But at the very least, I'm going to be making a lecture. Similar to like what you might find at one of the PCP 101 lectures. Similar to, I would say more similar to something you would find at a convention though. Like a panel, except actually good. Because most panels have terrible... Did I say... I mean, most conventions have terrible panels. And I kind of wanted to do something similar. I've wanted to do a panel for a long time, and I just never really had a good idea. Especially for like an actual convention. And it seems kind of weird too, because you don't really see too many panelists go do a presentation by themselves. I've seen it happen, and some of them are really good, but most of the time people do a panel with like their friends or whatever, and it just turns into like a meme spam or something. Because inevitably, what happens when you do any sort of panel at a convention, for example, like if you give a Toho panel, you're gonna have all the memers come, and it just ends up being a panel for the fandom and not really people interested, and it alienates everybody else. And then it ends up not really being too informational, and it ends up being more like comedic or entertainment, because the audience they bring in are people who are already interested in the topic that's being given as opposed to like people who might not know anything about it. That kind of happened when I went to a Muv-Luv panel. The only good thing about that panel is that they gave me a sticker for Hakuryo Academy. I put that on my ThinkPad. Yeah, I've still never seen Side M either. I want to though, because during the research of this, like I've heard nothing but good things about Side M in terms of like what the branch is all about. Because like it just seems like it's more like story focused, and a lot of people tend to put it off because it's about male idols and it's kind of cringe, you know. But from what I've seen, it's like mostly adult characters, and they have like interesting backstories and stuff of why they want to become an idol. And like I heard the anime was actually pretty good. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't vouch for the quality, but I ended up downloading it because I got interested in it. Yeah, I also miss the Radcon, and the unfortunate thing is that there will never be another Radcon. If you do a panel, I'll leave my room for once. If I do a panel, I wouldn't associate it with PARS, but I would still uh, maybe do some sort of video about it after the fact, or record it to some extent. I guess it's mostly a matter of separating online persona from real persona. But can we really do that anymore in 2023? It's more about the anonymity. I'm actually gonna. The movie is more 2011. Let's talk about Cinderella Girls. I don't Master Cinderella Girls. The anime from 2015. Shout out to Cinderella Girls U149 for literally being the best anime of 2023. Granted, I haven't seen 16-bit Sensation, and that's the one that's currently airing right now, and I'm saving it so I could binge it later. But I think that's the only other anime that's in contention or potentially could dethrone uh, U149 for the best anime of the year. Let's see. Also a note for the live performances of Idolmaster. Yeah, Idolmaster. I just like halfway through that sentence, I lost my train of thought, wondering what I was even talking about anymore. But for Idolmaster, technically the first real live they did was where was it? It was the first anniversary live held at Studio Coast in 2006. The interesting thing about this, especially with a lot of this early era of live performances for Idolmaster, a lot of it is not archived. And I wanted to find a lot of footage for this era prior to doing the presentation to kind of do my due diligence and to watch a little bit of it. And it's kind of hard to find, especially, I mean, obviously some of the like the early stuff, like the secret live that they initially did, most of the coverage is from Japanese blogs, and all you get is like pictures, and maybe that's about it. But the first official anniversary live was an interesting case because this particular live had footage, because it was released later on DVD, which a lot of these concerts are released on DVD after the fact. I mean, Love Live does it. Idolmaster still does it. Like Animelo Summer Live does it as well. But the problem is I couldn't really find anything about this first anniversary live. There is a YouTube video uploaded from it, but it's a really terrible quality upload. It's like 360p and horribly compressed. So I ended up going to Yahoo Japan Auctions, and I purchased a copy of the DVD. And once I receive it, eventually when I receive it, I will upload it online. I'll upload it to uh, the Genshiken secret channel and then I will also put it on like Nia and Archive and stuff because it seems like too important to ignore the fact that the first anniversary live doesn't have any footage of it online in decent quality, considering like the how popular the franchise is and the fact that like something so important as like the first anniversary concert footage is not on there. Though I suppose the unfortunate thing for this is that um, Kugimiya Rie, the voice actress for Iori, she's not like in the DVD footage. Something to do with like her contract or something like that, or her manager didn't want to be included on that. But otherwise, it's everything else is fine. But it's just an interesting era prior to smartphones and stuff in 2006, where like people would have to bring cameras, and I guess uh, early days and maybe even in Japan, it's not really too commonplace for people to record concerts. So a lot of the early footage is either if there is official content, then that's all you get. U149 based indeed. 16-bit is pretty good so far, even better if you're a VN head. That's kind of why I was interested in it. Like I think prior to it becoming an anime, I had seen the manga before and I had seen like a couple screenshots of it. And it like based on the premise alone, it's about what is it about? Which I know it's about a specific studio. I want to say I it's not Leaf. It's something else. It's another one of those smaller studios. But it's like uh, a fictionalized sort of otaku no video spin on uh, the formation of a visual novel development a studio. And I want to say it was what's his face, Akamatsu Ken used to be part of that. I think he has something to do with this. Let me do a little Wikipedia dive right now. Where was it? Bishojo games. I mean, it's about Bishojo games, so obviously it's gonna be something I'm interested in. Okay, it's about based on the real life experiences at Aqua Plus in the early days. Um, so it wasn't Akamatsu Ken. I lied. It's about two other characters. Mitsumi Misato and Amazuyu Tatsuki. I wanted to say it was Akamatsu Ken because he's one of the, or at least uh, in the 2000s, he was one of the more prominent like uh, people to break out of the doujinshi scene, but then like still kind of give back to it. Yeah, I'm also waiting for 16-bit to finish. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait because it's just like a you don't really see anime with a focus on like bishojo games or bishojo game development because the last time something like that happened was probably uh which shoku uh shoko what was it called, shoko meza. Yeah, it was shoujo tachi wa koyao mezasu, or girls beyond the wasteland, which was kind of it was that show, it was that one in Saikano, which kind of did the last uh modern interpretation of like the bishojo game culture within otaku media. So shout out though to Comiket. Uh, I was gonna wait a little bit longer to say it, but I this year for C103 I will be in Japan at the time, so I'm gonna be going to Comiket, which is really exciting. And it's gonna be pretty hype because I wanted to go last year, but I wasn't able to get tickets for it. But this year, I was looking at plane tickets and I was like, "Fuck it, dude, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna pay for it. I'm gonna be going. I'd rather just pay the extra money and go to Comiket, cause as opposed to in August, which is harder to get time off work. Because like during the holidays, like everybody's taking time off and they don't care. Yeah, I'm returning to Japan. At the end of December. Last time I just went to Tokyo. This time I might go exploring a little bit more. Indeed, time for the holy pilgrimage. Like last year, I was lamenting the fact that I didn't go to Comiket, and I kind of regretted it. Like I was thinking, damn, dude. Like I came here and I didn't I I was so close, but I just didn't pay. And I should have. And if I never go to Comiket, okay, this is gonna crash again, isn't it? Let's see if it saved it. But I was thinking like if I never go to Comiket, I will regret it forever. So I just need to go and you know like go all in, you know. All right, where was I? I don't think this. I'm interested to see though what's going to be released. Like I had mentioned before, with Comiket, like if I go to Comiket, I'm not specifically going to be looking for like stuff that I can easily find online. I'm mostly looking for the more niche items, stuff that won't be scanned. Like if I know it's a couple circles, and I'll probably keep an eye out for them. But yeah, I mean, if it's like the new Hardcore Syndrome or something, or the new whatever big circle like Fatal Pulse or whatever, I'm probably not gonna buy it. I'm looking specifically for like the weird niche stuff. Uh, like the, and I don't know how much of that is around these days, and I'm interested to see because I know Comic Con sort of been like, what's the best way to describe it? It's like been like tourist made tourist friendly, I suppose, and like as otaku culture has evolved into the 2010s and now into the 2020s, it's a significantly different landscape than it used to be. So I guess I'll just have to see what's going on over there, because I'm looking like obviously I'm interested in the Dojin music, so I'm interested to see what kind of stuff is out there. What do I expect to see? I just want to buy like random stuff, dude. Like go to the circles with like the table set up in like suboptimal places that haven't sold a single copy, and just buy their book. I mean, granted, if it looks interesting, but like I'm looking for the stuff that you will never find scanned online because there's a decent amount of that. And every year I think of Comica and I think of like there's probably some interesting books that might not necessarily be really good or some interesting music that's not necessarily good, but like will just be interesting to look at as a piece of history. Because all the other mainstream stuff you can find online, like especially you just go on like Dojin style or whatever, and you're able to download everything, and everything just is scanned onto Sad Panda or Hentai or whatever. And like the best stuff is translated into English within days anyway, so like you hardly have to wait. But I'll just have to see. And I think it's only 2 days now. And you have to buy tickets as well, which is unfortunate. Are you kidding? Dude, this is crashing again. Alright, I'm just gonna open up Impress now. Open source software, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna close this one. I'm only gonna have this open. I bet it's because I haven't updated the software in like months. I'm gonna find some pictures for this thing too. Let's delete that. I guess I'll have to update the software in a little bit. I wonder if there's a picture of every Idolmaster girl. Oh, thanks. Idolmaster every Idol Master girl in like one picture. That would be pretty insane. Hold on, I think there is. Never mind, that's just Cinderella girls. But there's an absurd amount of idols now. I mean, just with Cinderella girls alone, there's like 200. You know what? I'm just gonna get the logo. And then I'm gonna find pictures for all this stuff, and then I'm gonna end up deleting it. Then I'm gonna change my mind, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? I want something a little different. Let's move this out of the way. No, it's not a... Damn, hold on. I need to edit this a little bit then. Because I'm pretty sure I searched for a transparent image. I mean, it's alpha layer for sure. Let's file save that. Pictures. The best way to add this. As you can see, I'm specifically avoiding opening up my pictures folder. Because like whenever I do one of these streams, I always expect like, there we go. Alpha layer. I'm like, if I open up the picture and my pictures folder, it's going to drop the picture into the... That is weird. It's going to open up the wrong picture folder, the one I don't want to show. Alright, it's a work in progress. I don't like the resolution of that. But I wanted to have that specific logo. Yeah, I think every time I try to put a picture in, just from Google Images, it will just... I'll have to... That's crap, dude. That's crap. Let's say I want to use this picture. File. Save as. 765. For every single picture, I want transparency. And I mean, I could copy it from here and just drop it directly into Impress. There we go. Bro, I think it's gonna crash again. Oh gosh. I hope if I update this software, it will stop crashing, because if it continues to do this crashing business while I'm doing a lecture or something, it's going to be pretty terrible, to say the least. I'll actually delete that. Yeah, for now I'll just drop it right here. I mean, overall, like whenever I was doing the writing within LibreOffice Writer, it was never an issue with crashing, but maybe I should update it. I mean, I'm not too far behind anyways, whatever. I'll just probably do that later. Important people. I guess I could find the people now. I have the Google Doc open somewhere. Actually, I'll skip that. I'm going to refrain from doing a rant during the lecture about idol culture in Japan. But it just seems like... Actually, it'd be better to find a picture of Morning Musume. But it always seems like whenever someone talks about idol culture in Japan, they're always like, oh, idol culture is always so exploitive or whatever. But everybody, especially like English discourse, they approach it from a certain angle that always feels like slanted a certain way. Like they have some sort of, how should I, like, what's the word for it? Like they want to like convey a certain message. Like they already have a predefined stance on idol culture, and like whenever they look at it, they're like, oh, you know, like, isn't idol culture so weird, or isn't this like a certain way? Talk about the whatever exploitation and stuff, but never talk about like what's good about it and the history. What's that show called? I'm trying to find a picture of some 3D PD idols to drop in here, lads. And I don't want to just drop a random picture in without much of what's the word? Yeah, I'll just use this one. I'll probably change it in a little bit. Because I don't really follow... Dude, it's going to crash again. I guess that's a sign from above that my LibreOffice doesn't want 3D PD in there at all. I'm gonna download the next version of LibreOffice to hopefully improve some sort of stability within this editing, because right now it's kind of all over the place. Never mind. It's like 300 megs, and I'm not gonna download that right now, especially while streaming. I don't think my internet can hold up. At least for now, the original arcade Is there a better resolution of that? Oh, music in the DG. Let me drop that on desktop audio. I just started to listening to some DJ Sharpnel. It was not intentional. I was just like gonna listen to some music, and I forgot that I still had that the desktop audio on. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Let me see, 2005 specifically. Oh, it's like an art book I should get. Let's go over to the music tab. I just found something for that. There's so much Idolmaster music out there, though. Like, it's kind of absurd. Here we go. Oh, wrong tab. Crap. Let me hop back over. Very simple. It is interesting, though, that the Idolmaster team decided to, the Idolmaster team at Bandai Namco decided to port the game to 360 of all consoles, but it was primarily because of the Xbox Live service that they decided to do that. Because most people know that, like, the Xbox never had a large install base in Japan, but let's see. The Idolmaster game, when it was ported to Xbox, actually had a significant amount of. This is actually the wrong game. Significant amount of people join Xbox Live and stuff, which was really interesting. I need to find some screenshots, but there aren't too many good ones. See, here we go. Oh gosh, dude. I'm probably gonna switch to do something else because this keeps crashing. Let's see, start. Let's see, I didn't lose too much work, so it's not that bad. Xbox Live. What's this called? DJ Sharpnel. So right now I'm listening to DJ Sharpnel's Colossal Con 2016 mix. And the most unfortunate thing about this particular mix is that there's some really good songs on there that don't have full versions. They're all like, how do I describe it? Like, they're all part of like a DJ set. So some of them are only like a minute or two long. There's a surprising lack of content for this. Hold on. Like, I'm looking for a happening location. I know this exists. Was I spelling it wrong? Yeah, happening location. Why not just use Google Docs? LibreOffice is better, but for the sake of things to just work. Yeah, that's true. I was kind of leaning away from that. I mean, I use Google Docs for the majority of my stuff, like just my own writing and stuff. Um, I kind of wanted to give LibreOffice the benefit of the doubt, and also mainly because when I'm going to be giving the lecture, most of the content is going to be hosted and run off my laptop. So I'm going to have like Audacity running on my laptop to record audio, and then I'm going to be plugging an HDMI cable into the TV, to the laptop, and to mirror whatever's on screen. And on the crappy laptop, I mean, it's just an X220, so it like opening up Firefox consumes like half of the resources, and then like the whole Google suite is not necessarily light. So I kind of wanted to optimize performance that way, but I probably will just use Google Docs or the Google Slides, I should say. Let's see. I probably could still convert it because I know with here. Let me just open up Google Drive because these Google Slides nowadays you can like import stuff. Let's see how well that works. Let's see. Let's save it as a PowerPoint doc and see if it will import. So let me try over here. Oh, crap. File, import slides. Show wallpaper. I wonder if I have a link. Keep original theme. Oh crap, I can't see. Oh, okay, so it actually kind of did work. And this one probably won't crash. Excuse the 3D PD. I mean, it was simple enough because the problem with importing stuff into Google Slides is that sometimes it breaks the formatting and your transitions and stuff. But since I was literally just using a plain white background and regular text, it was fine. I wonder if I do have the source for the wallpaper. Somewhere deep and buried in my Danburu archives, I have it. Here we go. I got it. Let me just drop it into Sauce now, and I'll get a link because I'm sure some people will want to know. I'm about to find out if YouTube doesn't like Danburu links. It's gonna flag me for sure. Okay. So now I could actually do this without running into weird issues. So this is interesting. So Happening Location. Now it was an Idolmaster phone game that was unique because I don't think this one was the one. But there was two Idolmaster mobile games. The first one was Happening Location, and the second one was just called Idolmaster Mobile. And I believe Idolmaster Mobile was the one that actually, like, you had to go to specific locations in real life, like Pokemon Go, uh, so you can build your idol empire IRL. And it was also a cool feature within the Idolmaster arcade game where the girls can like send you text messages. Yeah, Happening Location was just like a weird little board game thing. Go. Good enough. Master SP. Oh, this is a good picture. I've also found out too while doing a lot of research for this is that a lot of the early Idolmaster games, um, in like media within the franchise, like a lot of the old sites on Bandai Namco's like main official website are still up. So like you'll find some really old Web 2.0 stuff. Hey Katuro. I think that's good for this one. I don't time to find some pics for this. This is kind of off topic though, but uh, earlier today, like when I got home, I had the weirdest urge to open up my copy of Denpo Otoko by Honda Toru, and like as I was flipping through it, I literally, I shit you not, found $50 cash in my book. I was like, dude, what the heck? So apparently, like sometime when I moved, I just decided to put $50 in there. So Den Politico is the book that keeps on giving. This is gonna be hype. This is an old preview, PV. Also, I forgot this one was actually on iPhones and stuff. That's the problem though with like a lot of these games that were developed for mobile devices. Like they all have an end of life, and which will inevitably mean that especially since it's an app, the device will no longer be the app will no longer be supported, and then apps will be delisted. And then the problem too, like this was an iPhone. I think it was iPhone and no, it was just iOS. But the problem is that recently iOS had that whole thing with like discontinuing 32-bit applications. So even if you did have an older device or like a means to download it, you couldn't. So a lot of games are lost to time like that. The real question is though, when are we gonna get a a stop skeletons from fighting video, uh, from the delisted series. Oh crap! This picture is terrible. About Idolmaster Mobile. Because he did one about like the Resident Evil 4 iOS port or whatever. So is anyone gonna get the Tachibana Adisu headphones? That's actually pretty legit though. I didn't know that these were a thing. Maestradio. I've never heard of this brand. Now, for those who don't know, I'm pretty into IEMs or these in-ear monitor headphones, and apparently they did a collab with Cinderella Girls, which is pretty sick. When I was in Akihabara, there was like a headphone store that, based on like Google image pictures, like there was a lot of random collab items there. So like there would be like a collab with, I don't know, whatever random mobile game is popular, like Girls Frontline. But when I went to the uh, when I went to the actual store and looked in, there wasn't like anything in there, and I was a little saddened because I thought it was gonna be a headphone store specifically selling like headphones for with waifus on them, but that wasn't the case at all. Also, I need a let me Amazon.co.jp. I need to enlighten some fellow viewers who might not be in the know about it. But there's a Chinese headphone brand called Moondrop. Let's see if I can find. And their whole deal is that they, on their marketing materials, I probably have better luck on another site. So Moondrop is probably the most based headphone brand around. Let me search for and you'll see why shortly. I wonder if do they still have the branding? Oh, they're starting to remove it. But the whole deal with Moondrop is that they put anime girls on the packaging. And they actually make good IEMs. But I don't really see uh here we go. So this is the actual packaging for the Moondrop Kato. That it's just a girl who obviously is a reference to the Kato in Saekano. And I actually do. I'll show it in my room tour video, but in my hands I'm holding the acrylic stand of the girl right now. So they do like waifus on the cover of their products, but I think they're starting to move away from that now, which is unfortunate. But like every other day, you'll see a thread in like on Reddit's headphone uh, subreddit or whatever, and people will like be completely divided one way or the other. Like you'll see someone who complains about Moondrop's waifus, and then other people will be like, "It's the best thing ever." I'm of course in the latter. That's what initially drew me to uh, the Moondrop Aria, and I ended up getting really into to IEMs because of that. So that's like the packaging. We got the gal in the background, and they do make really good headphones as well. I was thinking of getting the Blessing 3. Uh, I'm personally not considering the Blessing 3. I have the Blessing 2 Dusk, and based off what I've heard, I want to get the S8 if I do ever decide to get something in the like the sub 1000 range, because I did have a chance to demo the SA in earphone in Akihabara, and they were probably the most appealing to me since they sounded very similar to the Kato, which I'm a big fan of, and they weren't as uncomfortable to put in your ears as the Blessing 2 Dusk, at least based off what I tried. But if you don't have the Blessing 2s or the Blessing 2 Dusks, I think the Blessing 3s are a good purchase. I don't know if they've been out long enough. I mean, I then again, I haven't really checked reviews for it, but based off the track record, I know they're pretty good. Idolmaster Second Vision. All these pictures are very low quality JPEGs. And if it bothers you, it also bothers me, so I will change it. It's kind of like a placeholder for now. 3.0 vision. Like, this is a little bit better, but like the resolution is higher, but it's still like really crappy looking. I think if I shrink it enough, it'll look fine. And then after the fact, like, I'm going to be recording this with a phone pointed at a television and recording it in 720p, so this is just my autism getting in the way. That the resolution of these random little pictures aren't going to look that good. I'm looking for IEM somewhere in the sub 500. Probably the Blessings, honestly. Blessing 3s. I mean, if they are as good as people say, that they kind of sound like an upgraded Blessing 2 with the Dusk tuning already on there, I think it would be a good option. I haven't really been shopping in the sub 500 market recently, but I know a lot of stuff has come out, and it's just harder to keep up. Like, I know a lot of people were talking about the A-Full Performer 5 and a couple others, but I honestly can't comment on them because I haven't tried them. But I guess it ultimately depends on what music you want to listen to. Like, if you're mainly listening to vocal J-pop, then stuff tuned close, Harmon tuned, similar to what Moondrop is doing, is probably going to be the best bet. Let's see. Dearly Stars. Wish there was a slightly larger picture of this. And another problem is that Google image searches are getting terrible. Like, when you do an image Google or reverse image search on Google, like how I used to, like, you would get the picture and you would just kind of like drop it into here. But now it has this crappy thing all over this, which makes it really difficult to find something that you want. So now I have this a whole other extension for this. Like, it's just becoming extensions to make Google usable. And then now I can find an actually decent resolution version of this. I'm not going to do 1000 by 1000, but maybe I will, because it looks fine. Well, even though these are a large resolution, they're not necessarily good. I need to find some gameplay. So a while back, I bought myself one of those R4 cards from AliExpress with the intention of like actually putting games on it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And now that I've researched Idolmaster, I kind of want to put Dearly Stars on there and mess around with it. Because I've never really gotten into emulating DS games because it always seems like a suboptimal experience. Because the DS is unique because I mean obviously it has two screens and one of them is a touch screen, and it always seems like a hassle to emulate one because you have to have like a controller, but then you have to have like your mouse to kind of like use the touchscreen features. Some games don't use it as much as others, but just haven't used it yet. So let's see. And I'm moving the the tabs over in between because I don't want to like accidentally show something I don't want to. Let's find some random gameplay here. This might be as good as I'm gonna get. No, I'm surprised there's not more. Like more gameplay footage. Oh, I mean, I guess it makes sense since you couldn't screenshot on the DS. There we go. Oh, that's such a small little picture. Damn it, 4Gamer. Let's see more. See if I can find something decent. Because I mean, this is going to be impossible to see on the screen anyways when I'm showing it. It's kind of a moot point. Not good enough. Idolmaster 2. This is probably one of the most well-regarded games in the series. I actually own a copy on PS3. Idolmaster 2. The problem though, I realized when I was attempting to play it recently, is that like you have to have a better grasp of Japanese than I kind of expected, and it kind of like made me realize the need that I need to hit the books again. Because there's like some sections where like you have to make a quick decision. Like you know in visual novels you have to make a decision, and it leads to branching paths. In Idolmaster it has that, but they're all timed, so you kind of have to make a decision quick, and depending on what decision you make, it will determine like how the idol perceives you and your affection level. And the problem is that the prompt is only up there so quick, so you have to kind of already know what the word says to make a decision quickly within like the 5-second window or 10-second window. So like if I'm barely trying to like decipher some kanji over here, and then this timer is running out, I just end up picking something random and then get like a poor affection level. And then there's also another mini game in there that like you have to pick certain words that are just flying around the screen, and that was that was the moment when I realized I needed to bust out the flashcards again. I kind of want to show some gameplay. And I think this is Idolmaster too. Idolmaster. Because I don't want to put incorrect information on screen either. Okay, it is Idolmaster too. But eventually I would like to play this game. That's the motivation to learn Japanese now. Or to get good enough that I can play it. So now I have this slide. I mean, mostly, I don't like this cover. I want something a little higher resolution. Here, I'll replace it. I was going to use that cover because that's the one I have, but I'll just use this one instead because it's a little bit better. There we go. Gravure for you. I mean, this is all safe for work stuff, isn't it? Yeah, dude, it's such a shame they never did more of these Gravure for you games. Here we go. This is what I want. I don't even know where the center is. There we go. Just one big picture. That's all you need to know about Gravure for you. Like, if you see that picture and it's appealing to you, then you kind of already know. And then, of course, there was 3 more games with Shiny Festa. The weird thing, too, about Idolmaster is the games, they started to adopt the A1 Pictures anime, like, style. So, like, the character design started to be increasingly more influenced by that. Which, I mean, depending on who you ask, is a good thing or not. I think the old designs used to have a certain appeal to them that the new ones don't. And I don't like everything becoming so homogenized, but I guess for the sake of like branding and stuff, it makes sense that they wanna do that. Plus, the Shiny Festa games came with like an OVA animated by A1 Pictures using the same design, so it makes sense that they would wanna like make everything sort of uniform. Furthering division. I guess I grab a couple pictures for this. This is gonna take longer than I expected, so I'm gonna have to work on it more tomorrow. And I'm just gonna say right now though that Idolmaster 2011 is easily one of the best Idol, or I mean not easily one of the best. It easily is the best Idol anime, and it's a shame they never made more. Because it's such like a lovingly crafted adaptation of the franchise. I need to dig into my screenshots folder here. I think this should be the picture. Just fill the entire screen with this. Where do I send it to back? Order send to back. That's all we need to know. I wonder if you could do outlines with some of this stuff. I mean, we could do a drop shadow, which that actually kind of does work how I wanted it to. There we go. God damn it, Flux. I need to turn Flux off. Like, Flux is fine as, like, the eye strain thing. It's like the eye strain red filter or whatever. It's mostly fine, but it kind of becomes a bother after a while. I don't have any pictures from Cinderella Girls, unfortunately. And for those who don't know that have already watched U149 and liked it, the OVA was recently translated and it's up on Ya. I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna go back. Find some music. CD. Yeah, there's so much Idolmaster music, dude. Like, if you just look up pictures for it, you'll just, like, find a ton of stuff. It's kind of insane. But actually, for this, I'm gonna dig into my music library. Anime. Into my first gen master of master. Is this where the scan is? Yeah. I mean, it's not a scan that I did myself, but it's good enough. But it is a self rip, and it's a funny story too. So I originally got the Idolmaster. What is it called? The full collection is called Idolmaster Best Album Master of Master. I purchased that at a convention, the very first anime convention I went to, because I was into the 2011 anime and like the whole franchise at the time. But when I got it, I was a little bit upset that it didn't feature the Seiyu from the anime. And I was like, who are these? Oh, it's from the game or whatever. But then all these years later, got around to re-listening to it and everything, and it grew on me immensely. So I need to find a million live. A million live. There we go. Need something like this to get the point. Oh my god. As much as I don't like 3D PD idols, I think it would be kind of hype to attend a live performance. Like this. Because this past year I did have the opportunity to see Kyari Pamu Pamu perform live, and it was like the most hype live performance I've ever been to. Granted, I think I've been to like 3 concerts in my life, and one of them was Smash Mouth. Because I don't know if actually I don't know if it was Smash Mouth because it might have been a cover band, but Smash Mouth or a cover band played at like a local like summer festival in my town when I was like in grade school. But otherwise, I'm not like a huge concert person. But it would be cool, I think, to attend an idol concert. It's a different type of energy, you know. Like it's just like all otaku, and just having the glow stick and waving it around and doing all the wotage chants would be cool. It's a shame though that they don't really tour over here. Not even like the big the bigger groups don't tour. Just drop this in somewhere in the middle, I guess. There we go. So no, I think I'm closing in. I'm closing in now. Just need to find a few more pictures. I also wish Cinderella Girls got more seasons. I mean, it wasn't the best adaptation from what I remember, but considering the popularity and how many characters there are, they could have done so much with that. But I don't think Cinderella Girls is as popular anymore. It started to wane in relevancy, especially the more as more units were added and more branches within Idolmaster's umbrella. Like I don't know what's the most popular right now. I didn't like run the numbers or whatever, but I want to say like Shiny Colors is more popular. So if we do layout, I'm just gonna fix some of these layouts and I'm probably gonna start closing out the stream. Title only. I just want to have it in the middle. There we go. I spelled lamenting wrong. Yeah. I will say though, like I was just looking right now for Starlight Stage. Like if you've never seen the music videos for Starlight Stage, definitely give them a watch because they're really impressive. Like you'll see some really interesting choreography, and like the production levels for like, a mobile game are pretty good. Like I'm not a huge mobile gamer, but this is like Starlight Stage is probably the only uh, mobile game I've given a shot. And if it wasn't so much of a like a gotcha nightmare, I would play it more, but I guess it is what it is. And some people don't mind that. I totally forgot what I was looking for. So I just need to find a picture. I wanted to put a picture from one of the music videos, but it's probably not going to happen. Some of these are going to start to seem repetitive. Let me just put this pic in. Oh, low quality. Like, there's so much Cinderella. Oh, this picture is hype, dude. Look at this. Where was this? This is going to be the thumbnail for this video now, I think. Because this just goes pretty hard. And this is the thing I think a lot of people miss out on within the like the Western non-Japanese otaku culture is how prominent these sort of like anniversary events or like pop-up events are in Japan. Because for us, like a lot of anime in otaku culture is primarily something we engage with in our rooms in our own little bubbles and stuff. Which I mean, I personally prefer, but within Japan, there's always these like pop up events and stuff where you can go to a certain location and there will be character merchandise or just like decorations of characters, and uh, it's really interesting, and that's something we definitely miss out on over here. Like I was watching recently, like there was like an event some guy recorded in Japan about the like an Aura Emo pop-up event, for example, and there was like various character goods and stuff there. In oh, I need to give this presentation a title. There we go. Where'd I put it? I think I lost my Google Doc. Oh, I closed it. Never mind. So I could put this. I need to put this picture somewhere because I really like it now. I'm going to put it here. Because these guys know what's up. And it kind of reminds me, here, this is going to be the last thing. I have it over here. Wrong folder, hold on. So within my archives, you know, of important pictures, I have, crap. I could have sworn it was in here. Oh, maybe it's right here. So this picture kind of reminds me of this one, which is probably my second favorite picture of all time. These two otaku right here, at what I assume is Comiket. They're kind of just like they're posing, dude. They're just like the ideal version of what an otaku should be, and it kind of reminded me of this picture when I first saw it. Like I saw this and I thought of that, and I was like, yeah, because that's the glorious lifestyle of the otaku, of what it should be. We really should have more character pop-up events here in the U.S. I did not hear about I did hear about a Tokidoki one before. That's not really an otaku franchise. Is that Doki Doki? Doki Doki Literature Club, maybe? When I was in Japan, I stumbled upon a Surugaya location in Shibuya, I believe. Yeah, it was Shibuya. And I say stumbled upon because it was like on the fourth floor of a building that I didn't know that it was actually there. Because I was going to somewhere completely different. But then while I was walking to the other location, I saw like a Kingdom Hearts pop-up store. And I was like, oh, let me go take a look at that, because they were doing some sort of 20th anniversary thing last year, and I got a couple items at a fairly reasonable price. And then while I was there, I figured I might as well look at the rest of the stores there. And Surugaya was there, and it was just kind of like my first taste of like what a Japanese anime store would be, because at that point I had not gone to Akihabara yet. I went to Akihabara like day 3 or 4. But on the way up to Surugaya, there was like a Kiniro Mosaic pop-up store. And there, I distinctly remember there was like this 40-year-old Oji-san dude just like in there, like in the trenches buying his Kiniro Mosaic merch. And it was like the most base thing I think I've ever seen in my life. This is not necessarily a secret channel. It's just a side channel. Artificial Night Sky is the main channel for like now it's for like the more produced stuff, or stuff that I put a little bit more effort into. So like if I'm going to make a scripted video with a decent amount of editing, I'm going to drop it into the Artificial Night Sky channel. And when I do release my room tour video, it's going to be on the main channel as well as this Idolmaster lecture. Side channel is like just random little things that not necessarily very well edited. It's the Italian version that inspires stuff like Sanrio. Oh, okay. I thought it was Doki Doki, but I just assumed it was something a little bit more recent. Kugimiya Rie deserved better, indeed. Like I've gone like if I nowadays like if I see an anime that was that she was a Seiyu on and it was one of the leading characters, I'll watch immediately because she's one of my favorite Seiyu. Let's see Kugimiya Rie. Because I've seen a lot of stuff, though notably I haven't seen Hayate the Combat Butler, and I believe that she has a one of the leading roles on there. Let's see, main, and then highlight all. Oh man, dude, like every other day, like I look um at like Kugimiya Rie's like Seiyu career, and I look at Rizzo Mine and remember how good Rizzo Mine was, and how there will never be another anime as good as Rizzo Mine, and it makes me really really sad. I think I even have the entire DVD collection of Hayate, because a while back Sentai was doing their Sentai Filmworks were doing their like DVD clearance thing, because they're starting to phase out DVDs, and whatever stock they have left they're essentially giving away for free. So I picked that up, all 50 episodes I think, as well as some specials. Anime is so long for no reason, like 52 eps. Yeah, it's kind of long, but I guess they did a decent. They gave it a decent treatment. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't vouch for the actual quality of the adaptation, but it's pretty cool that they did give a such a thorough adaptation, or like such a long adaptation. Yeah, Rizumina was based. So I'm looking here. She didn't do too much. Yeah, I need to one day go through, because like I don't necessarily follow Seiyu, but if I'm looking for a show to watch and I see a Seiyu on it that I'm quite fond of, I'll immediately gravitate towards that show. Like right now, I'm watching Okusama wa Seito Kaicho, I believe. It's like a short anime, but Takatatsu Ayana is the Seiyu for the main gal in that show, and I decided to give it a watch, uh, purely from that alone. After episode 20, it's not canon to the anime. Yeah, Rizomine is it's like a half length show. Let me open it up to show. Actually, I know I have it on my hard drive. I'm gonna 14 minutes and 56 seconds per episode. Such a comfy show, dude. Such a comfy show. Uh, this is a Blu-ray version. I really should get the DVD, because I think this was another one where it was like originally produced in a DVD resolution, a standard definition, I should say, and then the Blu-ray did a poor upscale or something like that. Yeah, Takatatsu Ayana. I'm not sure how I feel about her recent stuff though. Besides like Nino from Gotobun, it's like one of those Seiyu who, like, I much prefer their earlier career. Yeah, because what Kugimiya Rie, she hasn't really done too much recently. I don't think, at least. Never mind, I lied. But I don't think I've seen something with her recently, is what I should say. I mean, she plays some minor parts. I did watch Summertime Render recently. But it's really interesting to see how they say they just like hang on in the industry for so long. Nino is legendary. Nino best girl, dude. I was really into Go Tobun when I was reading the manga and I was following it. Like I caught up to it and I was following it weekly as it concluded. Uh, but then like I don't know, like something about the anime is it hasn't like filled me with the same excitement. But I think that's just because I know what happened. Similar to like what Kaguya-sama did. Like I watched the anime and I've already read the manga. And I also think it's similar because like I really like Yukinoshita Yukino from Origaru, but I specifically like her character designs from the light novels better, and I feel similarly about Nino from Gotobun, how like something about her character design in the original manga and how she's drawn is just so much more appealing than in the anime. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like so much better. Yeah, I ended up watching the Gotobun movie recently, just for the sake of completion, as well as the specials. The specials are actually pretty good. Let's see if I have it. If you haven't watched the specials, I do recommend that. Because I remember, if I remember correctly, it's like adapting random bits from the anime. We do get some swimsuit scenes, so it's good. I have so many screenshots. I bet I have this. Let's see, because I know I have a screenshot folder of manga on my computer as well. Let's see. Yeah, 185 items in here. They're not all exclusively Nino, but we got a decent amount. And then whenever there's something kind of funny, got some nice reactions in here as well. Yeah, that manga was so good. Like I'm not a huge manga guy, but when I do find one, I will binge it and see it to completion. It's pretty great. Oh my god, dude. I named this picture Lick Me Nino. What was this like 2019 Pars was a certain type of unhinged. I'll say that. Yeah, but some of these some of these file names I gave are pretty wild. And it's Rizomine. Yeah, Rizomine 15 minutes per episode. I do like those type of short little anime. Pretty good. Dude based. I also want Nino to step on me. Alright, let me close that. And I think I mentioned it before, but just as a PSA, if anyone watching these streams or whatever, they do decide to add me on Mal, if you just please attach some sort of message, because I sometimes get randoms sending me friend requests on Mal, and like I'll click on them and I don't really recognize them from anywhere, and like they just have like 100 or 200 friends. I would just automatically assume that they're just someone who saw my favorites list and saw like I don't know Phase Zero or something and was like, oh, I'm just gonna add this guy as a friend. Uh, which I don't. I would rather curate it and have people that I kind of know. or at least people who aren't randoms. Increase. I was gonna make this full screen, but I don't think it's gonna work. Different resolution. Yeah, I think some people like I recognize their name, so I like as someone who's like watched a video or something. Um, but sometimes, like I said, I will just get like random friend requests even before I started doing YouTube, and I won't accept unless I kind of know who they are, just to have a more curated list. All right, I think I'm gonna start wrapping up the stream now. Let's see, a couple more responses here. Short form anime is probably the best I should watch, considering the fact that I have school and everything. Yeah, short form anime is pretty good. I I wouldn't say I necessarily prefer it, but there are some good short form anime, like the aforementioned Rizomine. Right now I'm watching Okusama wa Seito Kaicho, I think. Okusama ga Seito Kaicho. And that one's alright. Uh, but sometimes there are some good ones. I remember like Mangaka-san to Assistanto or something like that was pretty decent. And I think there's a few others, but I don't remember which ones specifically were great. But it's definitely a it's definitely something that not a lot of people pay attention to, as well as like OVAs, which something I've neglected as well for a long time. Like on my like I saw someone mention they have a notepad. Like I have a notepad here of just shows to watch. In my OVA list, I just add stuff to my OVA list of stuff that I'm kind of interested in, and then never watch them, despite being somewhat interested in. And there's some decent OVAs in here, or at least stuff that's a little mysterious, that is probably worth a watch. Yeah, and I think, honestly, I think if you use a notepad, that's pretty based. But for me, I watch so much that I like to put it on Mal just to kind of keep track of everything, as well as utilize the database stuff. Though, in all actuality, I do use AnyDB more in terms of like researching staff members and stuff, because it's more comprehensive and, in my opinion, is a little bit easier to navigate. And there's more, yeah, like I said, there's more information there. The only problem with AnyDB, like I think I mentioned before in a couple places, uh, is my biggest problem with AnyDB is it's mainly its convenience. So if I'm watching something, I'm not watching anything actually right now on here according to this. But like if I have something that I'm currently watching, I have to go into here and manually mark episodes as completed and stuff, and that ends up being a little tedious. As opposed to Mal, which you can just click the +1 button and it marks an episode as complete. I do like AnyDB because you can add the actual files from your hard drive, and I'm someone who has a pretty extensive collection of like anime files on their computer, so it's pretty nice in that regard. Let me see. Let me remove. But the problem is though, maybe there's a workaround for this, but like shows that I have previously marked as planned to watch, it will like start to double up. Generic files and regular files, ones that I have on my computer, which is kind of frustrating, but a different rant for a different day. I did remember, I did watch Midori Days a while ago. I can't say I'm a huge fan of it, but it was an interesting show. Let me close this out. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream now. Uh, Thanks to anyone who's stuck around for, wow, 2 hours. That was a little longer than I thought, but I guess I did get a decent amount of this done. So I'm planning to record the lecture soon. No promises on when it's going to release, though the room tour will be releasing soon, uh, ideally within the next week. The and the tag hashtag syscon23, it's kind of a parody of um, of RadCon. RadCon being the convention, I guess quote unquote convention that the PCP members used to do back in the day. And I always kind of wanted to do something like that, where I would present some sort of lecture and then do a lot of videos and do my own spin on it. But I never got around to it, and then I never had enough videos, ideas planned. But if I would call it anything, it would be SysCon23, as in, uh, like con as in convention, but it's also a play on the whole sister complex thing. Yeah, thanks to anyone who joined. Um, I guess I kind of just do these streams spontaneously, but whenever I do it, it's cool when people actually show up. So I guess look out for some videos that are going to be dropping soon, like this lecture obviously included, and maybe a couple others. And I guess that's about it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday nights, lads. Hopefully there's some comfy anime or comfy gaming lined up. And that's it for me.